I went straight straight to live tonight. I did not do the countdown. What the hell is that? Is anybody in here? Join me, peoples. 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 So today I went to Ocean City for they had this little con, and I just hello Lisa. I just went there, as a not as a person that's in the con, just as a person from the community. Look, and I was asking a couple questions about some stuff, and somebody said, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "Oh, nothing." I said, "But who are you going to call?" Ghostbusters. So I just, they had the car from Back to the Future. It wasn't the car, it was a car. And then they had a car out front that looked like the Batmobile, and a motorcycle that looked like, hello, Robin. How's the baby bacon? Hello, John. So, but I got some neat stuff over there. I'll show it to you. I want to do like a giveaway or something, but let me show you what I got. One of the guys there that caught my attention was this guy named J.M. DeSantis. And I got his book, the Ricklin Horror. I think that's an R. And anyway, I got him to sign it. But it's the lunatic rot. That is what they called the plague which fell upon the city of Kirkland. One of it, the Kirkland horror. Of its source and causes, the people of Kirkland were wholly ignorant, and the church of Araglos seemed to have no answers. Thus were the reapers established to help contain the rot, but even their well trained legions were no match for the ceaseless spread of the hard epidemic and the mad deformities it caused. Through the tales of four individuals, the reader will glean perspectives and truths about the rot, and perhaps even learn the eldritch truth of its unnameable source. So there's that. Hello, Lisa, John. My day, John, I went over to this horror, well, not a horror con, but like a Comic Con. But this thing, I'm sure one of my fans would love. It is a coffin with Nosferatu as the background, but the guy made this. I mean, it's like, I guess you can see it's got a lip, but it's a box, and it's awesome. So I got that. I got the book, and I got something I got to give away today. It's the saltwater taffy I got from there. Archer, honey, please. And a bag. So maybe I'll wind up giving shit away. So I went over there just briefly. It's only like about 15 minutes from where I live. So I went over there. It started at 10. I walked up just at 10. And I was walking back to the car at 10:38. So I came home. Well, Ocean City's pretty cool. The boardwalk's nice. I think one of the things that works in their favor is the blue laws, which no alcohol is for sale in the city. There was nobody famous that I saw. In fact, nobody knew who I was with my baseball cap on and my sunglasses and my I am Nigel Bach t-shirt on. Nobody knew who I was. No, I'm kidding. I was probably the most famous person there. That's humble, isn't it? So, Mac and Mangoes is now called Manco and Mangoes. Mac used to be Duke Mac from the Atlantic City bar restaurant called Duke Mac's, and they were partners, but they haven't been partners for years. Now, the owners of Manco and Manco did some prison time, if I'm correct. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Recently for tax evasion. But they're out, and now on the Ocean City Boardwalk on 9th Street, when you used to come up, on the left was Shriver's, and on the right was the Moreland Theater. Well, that's now Manco and Manco's Pizza. I don't know if it's actually in there or they just moved their sign there, because I don't understand how that lobby would work out as a pizza place, but maybe, who knows? Hi, Tom. Thank you for your donation. It was greatly appreciated.
Tell them about the trees.
Which ones that stink like?
Well, those two, but I was talking about how you said they're early this year, the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, all right, I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, Jillian's did close, but they're keeping the Ferris wheel. However, they're building town homes, and I honestly haven't been. Gillian's was a huge draw, but I have not been inside that pier in probably 30 plus years. Haven't gone in there. Um, but I know a lot of people did. It was always busy. Um, but they're building $1 million condos there. That that's all well and good in the summer. You can be right. You can park right there. You can walk across the street. You have the beach. You walk up and down the boardwalk. Can eat anywhere of many places, or just walk down the street. It's not like Atlantic City. Um, it's a family town. You can just walk down the street to a restaurant, not really worry about it. Although you do occasionally have a bad element.
Bad elements.
But uh, like I said, it's nice in the summer. Well, it's nice from like next month through October. But fuck, I don't know anybody that wants to be in Ocean City in December and January. I mean, there are some year-round residents, but that close to the ocean, it's like Ventnor, Margate, Longport, Brigantine, and Atlantic City. They're so close to the ocean that it's dreary, it's cold. It's just now warming up. Today was supposed to get up to 73, but I don't think it did.
I didn't see it go above 63.
Yeah. And it was supposed to rain. It did rain a little. In fact, I can see the driveways wet. So we got these cherry blossoms here. And I never noticed how many of them are in Egg Harbor Township. They're up and down our road specifically, but we saw a ton of them. And I said to her, "Do you remember that many before?" And what did you say?
I said, I remember the ones in Mays Landing, but
Yeah, where
not
we
as
take the
many around
dogs,
here.
where we take the dogs to the vet. There were a ton of them down Route 50, going to the vet's office, but all over down here they are. And then overnight, I something pops up about a tree called the apple pear or pear apple tree or something. Well, first of all, these cherry blossoms are early this year. I think they've been in bloom for over a week already. But then there's this pear tree. It's not a pear tree. It's called like a bear apple or something tree. And they said they're a beautiful looking tree, but they said they smell like rotting fish or ejaculate. Yes, I said it. You used to walk from Ocean City all the way over the bridge to the crab trap? Or did you drive there? Because that's insane. I was telling Holly, where right there where the Windjammer is, there used to be a bowling alley that became a movie theater that's now a doctor's office. But there also used to be a TGI Fridays there. There was a Pizza Hut. There was a KFC, all right there. Yes, Tom, Lisa, that's what they said. And I will tell you, I don't think I've ever had anybody say, look, folks, there's no way to sugarcoat this. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, my semen smells like rotting fish. Or I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, is that a fish rotting, or did someone blow a load over it? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to take this turn.
Well, obviously you did because you let it.
No, well, it got away from me. And but anyway, that's what this tree supposedly smells
Well,
like.
now you gotta go and find one so you can smell it.
Can you imagine? What if the paparazzi is near is nearby?
I forgot what I was going to. Oh, how about the reaction to the Minecraft movie?
Oh yeah, this Minecraft movie that came out that had mixed reviews. By the way, folks, tonight is the final night of White Lotus. But this Minecraft movie is the kids are carrying on so bad in the theaters. It's just nuts.
They're getting thrown out.
They're getting thrown out. They're screaming, yelling, shitting in the aisles.
Throwing popcorn and soda and making a huge mess in all the theaters.
And other movies in the theater are asking, the people are asking for refunds because that theater is so loud and they're just out of control.
You know why it is? Because the audience for that movie are all 14-year-old dumbass boys. That's why.
Sounds a little bit you're stereotyping.
All 14-year-old boys are stupid.
I wasn't. I don't. I do not remember. I do not remember any part of my life. I mean, I can't really remember anything. I mean, I remember a little here or there, but I don't remember anything that happened to me when I was 14. I mean, I remember 16 and a half taking driver's ed. Mrs. Miller came to my house in the summer with the car. And the first day she made me drive on the parkway, I said, "You bitch." That's probably where my love-hate relationship with lesbians started, because she was a gym teacher. And all right, that was an unfair statement. But she did have a bear tree in her yard. All right, that's a lie. I don't know why they plant them, Lisa, because they're disgusting. Who wants a tree that people get out, come to your house and they go, well, first of all, what are those things I can't stand the smell of?
What?
They bloom on the side of the house.
Hydrangeas? Hyacinths?
Hyacinths. Ugh, they're out of control.
Huh?
I
don't like them either.
They smell like ugh. And also, we were talking about cilantro.
Ow. I'm sorry, Sable, but you're hurting me.
I saw Jack earlier today. Hello, Mark.
Oh, how was he?
He was just walking. I didn't say him.
Can you lay on this side, Sable?
Lay on what?
I'm talking to Sable.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not. It's just she's hurting my knee. I'm trying to get her to come on this side. Fine. Be angry with me. Go ahead. Come on. Come over here. I know you understand. You're just being difficult.
So,
oh my God, your breath.
She needs doggy teeth cleaning. I don't like when they do that though, because they put them to sleep.
You told him you watched that movie last night?
Y2K. Why? That's exactly what I want to know. Why? It was a piece of poo. Look, my hoodie is so dark. I mean, not this hoodie, but this like fleece shirt that against the back of the chair, I look like a floating head.
That's hot.
Hello there.
Hello there.
I said, hello there, Miss Bonds. Ha ha ha. Oh, you're talking about Y2K. It was bad. You know, the girl in that is Snow White in the new Snow White. The little,
Go fuck yourself.
she became a little mouthy and caused some problems. March Madness.
I just saw an ad for that movie, Leaving DC.
Really?
Yeah.
On what?
Found footage horror.
What did it come up on though?
The group found footage horror.
Oh, that was it placed by an individual?
Yeah, I guess.
He's probably the guy that made it.
John Dylan Gokin.
You like my red dirt, like praying mantis ears, John. John choking his yoking. Wonder if it smells like the bear tree over there.
What the fuck are you doing?
Who?
You.
Why?
You're talking nastiness over there.
I'm disgusting. I'm an animal. Green Acres is a place to be. Farm living is. I want to show you something, folks. I want to show you something. This is. I think. Why is it showing my name? Ugh, that's disgusting. How do I turn the names off? There. got rid of it. Hi, Becky. I'm thinking about, I'm probably going to do this, making the Genesis Experiment as a comic book series, and which will eventually, cancel my Apple phone heard me say and thought I said, "Hey Siri." Anyway, and Bad Ben, I might make into a comic book graphic novel. I don't know who's into that stuff though from this crowd. I know Ronnie would be. But that graphic novel up there, the Genesis Experiment, which you see at the top, that is Scott as the priest and also his twin brother. They're both Scott. I think the Genesis Experiment would be better as a graphic novel. And Bad Ben would be easy to make actually, because I could take the frame grabs from the film and make it. Yeah, I mean, if the comic book and graphic novels would sell, that'd be okay. But the with this pretty much excludes everyone in this room. Everyone that's in here now is supportive, but overall, people and stuff is so expensive anymore with the inflation and just the cost of everything is just insane. And it's just a matter of people don't want to pay. If I offered the Bad Ben subscription monthly for $1, there are people that wouldn't pay. I've had people constantly write about, oh, why aren't these free on Amazon anymore? And no matter how many times I've explained that I can't make them free on Amazon, it's Amazon changed their way of doing things, and it doesn't matter. But, these people that are complaining that, oh, I can't afford to subscribe to the channel, or even YouTube, it's $2.99 a month. And a lot of you subscribe to both. And they're like saying, I can't afford it, but you can afford that cell phone. You can afford that computer you're on. You can afford that Wi-Fi and all that stuff. And when you were on Amazon watching on Prime for free, that meant you were paying $125 a year for that. But anyway, it's just and like I said, this group, everybody that's in here is supportive. But I'll tell you right now, I don't have a tenth. I have not been able to raise 1/10 of what I need to do 15 Poltergeist. And the same with Leave the Lights On. I planned on doing one of them every month. But like even with the subscription with the channel, people will come in. Well, they'll wait 6 months until stuff is added. Then they'll subscribe and immediately cancel their subscription. But in that month, they'll watch everything new. And then, they cancel. And I mean, that is gaming the system. That's why I'm probably soon going to make it so that you can't be a monthly subscriber. People have to be an annual subscriber because it's just they're doing too much to game the system. Um, Tom, you asked, would you self-publish or partner with a comic book publisher? Comic book publishers don't partner with people anymore. And it's like some of the big, like Marvel comics and DC comics, they do their own printing and stuff like that. But there are a lot of printers that you can, self-publish with. And the ideal thing is that you make the whole thing yourself. You send it to them. They print it. You order a couple hundred copies or 1,000 copies, which is a reach because they can be costly. And then you got to hope they sell. I mean, I have around here somewhere is a copy of the Genesis Experiment as a comic book, the first part of it. But it's like periodically I would run. No, it's not as bad as because I'm also working on Bad Ben, the book, the novel. And those can be expensive. But, you can. The one thing about doing that is through Kindle and Amazon, you actually don't have to get any of the books. They will be print on demand. So, or they're made for the Kindle, which costs nothing. And you just, for the right, I would consider selling the rights to everything for the right price. But it's just nobody. I mean, anybody, first of all, that has contact with or knowledge of this stuff. It was like that distributor I had briefly. What a piece of shit. I can't say their name though. But what a piece of shit. They're just like, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And they were just terrible at their job. I wish I would get subpoenaed. Like I wish somebody else, because I can't talk about it, but I wish somebody else that had the experience I had sued them. And as part of the lawsuit, I was subpoenaed because then I'm ordered to talk. And, but yeah, if somebody were to come along, like, what I predict may happen one day for Bad Ben someday is that a company like, Blumhouse or somebody like that knows this thing has a cult following and hey, Squatch, and we'll just sit there and say, hey, we'd like to buy the rights to Bad Ben and make a movie with some budget. And it wouldn't be something I would make. They would have their own producers and stuff like that. And they gave me a price that I couldn't refuse. But as it is right now, it's just most and not you guys that are in the room. And see, that's one of the problems also. And it's not a problem, but it's a reality, is that the same people come in this room just about every time I go live. It's normally like the same 20 to 30 or 40 people come in this room. And all of you have contributed somehow. So when I put up there, we really need your support today, it's important. And I put up badben.com/donate. I'm showing this to the 25, 30 people that have already donated, or in many cases, donated multiple times. And the other people will take and watch online. And it's like when I sometimes will play the movies live on a live stream here and ask for people to contribute. Over the course of hours, I'll have 800 people watch, and nobody makes 1 penny of a contribution. That's not always the case, but look, it's not anybody's responsibility to pay my salary, but I can't do this without off of what I make from the Roku and the YouTube and just that alone. So it's already April, and at one point I'd hoped I'd be able to release Poltergeist for Memorial Day weekend, but now it's looking more like 4th of July, if at all. Like I said, I've raised about 10% of what I need to. I don't know why I'm even telling you guys this. You guys are all people that have donated. But it is what it is. And if I can make a graphic novel, you can also make comic books and graphic novels for Kindle. But I think people really want to hold them in their hand. Hi, Ronnie. They want to hold a comic book in their hand. They want to hold a graphic novel in their hand. Excuse me. So here's a couple things, folks. Like I say, I've got the saltwater taffy. Archer, honey, what? And this is a book. I went to Ocean City Comic-Con today. This is a book called Kirkland Horror. I really would have chosen a different font, but it's a nice cover otherwise. And it's signed by the author, J.M. DeSantis, who was there. And this is artwork he did. That's Nosferatu in a coffin. And as you can see, it's not 3D. It is 3D, but it's not like a flat image. It's a coffin. But Nosferatu, he did that. He made these. So if somebody wanted to become a producer or even an associate producer, which isn't listed up there right now, I will send this stuff to you tonight. And he gave me a tote bag, which is his company. But again, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys have already contributed. Archer, what are you doing, hon? Come on up. Let the people see you. Let the people see you. Oh, honey, your breath smells like a sewer also. Is it the food you and Sable are eating? Come on. Come see people. We went and brushed towels up. What was that? You're freshikins.
Eating them out before, so
Aunt Ronnie says hi, Archer. Uncle John and Aunt Patty say hi. Isn't that a little weird?
why are you blinding
the aunt and uncle stuff. Like my best friend, I love him to death. I love his family, but he makes his kids call me Uncle Nigel, which they have uncles and aunts. So I just find it a little bit disrespectful to the actual. I know people do that though. Thank you, Bobby Digital. Bobby's coming in from X or Twitter. Welcome, Bobby. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. That's they're two of in the graphic novel there. They are two of Scott's headshots that I turned into that. And the priest is standing in a cathedral, and Dr. Del Vecchio is standing in a lab. At least I spelled Genesis correct. You're so vain. Good. Well, folks, I am going to hop off of here for tonight. But I'll see you. I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me, and we'll